Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing marvelously well. It is a very late Thursday night. So Eric is going to be sitting up half the night editing this video for today, which is Thack Friday, with some good news. So the good news is a favorite of ours, Mr. Mark Daniel Nelson, is joining us inside of the Produce Like a Pro Academy as well. If you're already a Produce Like a Pro Academy member, you'll know that Mark did a video this week on plugin paralysis, which he streamed live for a couple of hours, and it was freaking fantastic. He talked about how he uses plugins, why he uses the ones he uses, and why he doesn't use a lot of plugins to solve problems. And he actually opened up sessions and showed us his thought process, which was absolutely superb. So if you aren't already, please check out the Produce Like a Pro Academy. There is a $99 for a year membership going on at the moment. Yes, a whopping only $99. And there are so many multi-tracks in there. We keep saying 80, but I believe there's like 110. Then there's user-generated multi-tracks from members inside of there sharing songs of each other. There's a massive community of people that helps each other out. It is a wonderful place. Plus, of course, a whole bunch of free lessons and courses and all kinds of other marvelous stuff. So please check out the link down below. Check out the new member, Mr. Mark Daniel Nelson, who'll be helping people out, and myself, and loads of other wonderful, wonderful people. Remember, it's $99 for a one-year membership down below. So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. We just purchased this particular device. Can you pass it to me, young Eric? I'm not going to do it on today's episode. I'm going to do a dedicated one to it. But the reason why I wanted to demo this, or the reason why I wanted to get this, is because I had one of the original Line 6s that I toured with for about 3 years. And I loved the pedal. And then when I started recording, I absolutely loved it. There's a sweep echo setting on here. They still have it, which is so good. So, and this has got a loop function on it as well. So I'm really super excited to try this. I also have the original one in the other room. So maybe we'll do a little back-to-back comparison. So stay tuned. We'll be doing that probably the next week or so. So let's do a quick Thack Friday frequently asked question Friday question. All right, I'm going to pick up this piece of paper here and see what we have. How many guitars and basses and amps do you think would make for a well-rounded studio? I feel like for a wide gamut of sounds, 3 basses, 2 acoustics, 5 electric guitars would do, and maybe 3 guitar amps, 2 bass amps, 2 to 3 cabs, 2 bass cabs would round it out. Thoughts? I get most of what I've done on one bass. I do have more basses, but most of my basses are a variation on this. I have 2 of these kinds of basses, which is the Yamaha BB series, and you can use it active or passively. If I use it passively, it's a precision and a jazz bass. If I put the active in, it's whatever the heck I want to be. I can wind off all the top end, boost the bass, and I've got reggae. You know, I can tone up the top, and I got slap. So this is a really inexpensive BB. I love this bass. I also have the Peter Hook version of it, which is a souped up version of the same bass. I do have a 6-string bass. It's actually, again, a Peter Hook Eastwood bass, and it's the Signature Series one, and it's a copy of the Shergold, the 6-string Shergold bass, which I do love. I have a couple of flat wound basses, one of which, of course, is the Beatle Hofner bass. I have a really nice jazz bass that I love. I also have a PVT 40. So it sounds like I have a lot of basses. I do. I maybe have 6 or 7 basses. I use that one that you just saw 99% of the time. Unless I want a flat wound sound, or I'm going for a 6-string bass, which is very specialized and a lot of fun, I'm essentially sticking with that bass. I can do everything I want with it. Because of the active and the passive features, I can get pretty much any sound I want, except for a flat wound sound, and then I reach for one of my basses that has flats on it. So where I understand you might want 3 basses, I will say, when I've made albums, 1, maybe 2, most of the professional session players I know will come in with 3 basses. They'll have a specialty bass, like something when somebody's like, I don't know what sound I want. And then I'll pull out a Hofner or a Hagstrom or an old Epiphone. Those are really popular. Something a little left to center, and that'll be the left to center one. But most of the time, they're probably playing a precision, and maybe they'll have a precision with flat wounds on it, as well as a precision with round wounds. But I've done whole records where the bass player played the same bass every single song, and it's not boring. It's not boring at all. You know, if you've got variation of instruments, it's always going to add some interest. But that's the one area where I think if you had a couple of basses, you could probably get by. You know, it's nice to have variation even if they don't get used. I have a sitar guitar. We've used it 3 times. Then I went to Fernando's studio a couple of weeks ago, and he used a sitar guitar every day. He has an ear for it. He knows where to put it. Me, it doesn't make sense in my productions. So sometimes having a lot of something is just having a lot of something. You know, 99% of what I track now on guitar is tracked on my $499 Yamaha Revstar, which I absolutely love. I have been sitting here cutting vocals with Eric and Mikhail for a project that we're putting out in a couple of weeks. And I sat there practicing jazz guitar on my Revstar. I write songs on my Revstar. I just did a video with Ticket to Ride on my Revstar. So my point is if you know a few instruments well, it can be great. Now, if you're talking about a professional studio where you have a lot of different people coming in, then of course standards are very, very useful. A Strat, a Tele, some kind of glued neck Gibson, you know, a Les Paul, a Melody Maker. If you had a Les Paul, a Tele, a Strat, a nice acoustic like a Yamaha LL16, one of the best recording acoustics on the market, a fraction of the cost of the more expensive guitars. 2 basses, one with flats, one with round wounds, the deluxe Fender, a Marshall head, 2 different cabs for different sounds. I mean, you could do more, but I think 90% of your sounds are going to be covered. I think you're close. I don't know if I'd need 2 bass cabs. I just need one. I just need one single 15. We have 1 bass amp. That's it. That's all we've had, and we've never needed anything else. We can mic it in different ways and get different results, but we've never needed another one. You can also use a DI and something like a Sans amp or some kind of distortion as well. So you can have a clean DI, a distorted input, and a bass amp, and blend those 3 together and get all kinds of different bass sounds. I think you're close. I mean, 2 acoustics. I don't even have a small body, but maybe a small body. I don't even have a classical, maybe a classical. I don't know. The LL16 is going to cover 90% of the stuff. I'm not saying don't buy more instruments. I'm just saying in the reality is you won't necessarily need them all. You say 5 electrics, Strat, Tele, Les Paul, maybe a 12-string, maybe a cheap Tele copy that you string up with Nashville tuning. That's 4. You should be able to get by with just a little bit less than you're saying there. Unless you've got a lot of metal clients coming through, then you might want to get a 7-string. Now, I wanted to let you know that our good friend Matt Lang is really rather smart. There you go. I wanted to let you know that. No, all joking aside, he called me up today and said, in Pro Tools, they've added Melodyne to it as standard when you buy it. And he said, I want to review it because it only came out yesterday, which will be 2 days ago. So we're going to go over to our good friend, Mr. Matt Lang, and he is going to show us what is happening with Melodyne in Pro Tools.
Hey folks, Matt Lang here. Today's an exciting day for me because Avid just released a new version of Pro Tools which includes a Melodyne ARA built in. And ARA stands for Audio Random Access, but what that actually means is that Pro Tools and Melodyne are now one singular organism. And I've never been a Melodyne person myself. I've always really gone towards Auto-Tune personally and always graphic mode. But for whatever reason, I just never got into Melodyne. Now that it's in Pro Tools, I'm probably going to be using it a lot more. So bear with me as I am no Melodyne expert, but it is pretty quick and easy to do some really good tuning and also, of course, be really creative with Melodyne as well. So forgive my voice. It is hardly warmed up and I haven't sung in a minute, but we're just going to try to pull this together, and maybe because my voice is hardly perfect, it's actually going to put Melodyne to the test. So let's give it a go. All right, so here we are in Pro Tools. And I just made a little bed to sing over, and I'm just gonna do it very quick and easy with a trusty SM7, and then we're gonna put it into Melodyne within Pro Tools, and we'll see how it works.
I'm testing Melodyne
ARA within Pro Tools. All right, so that'll do. Hardly perfect. So here's my vocal, and now let's start going into this Melodyne ARA business. So all I have to do is just right-click on this region and say Melodyne Edit. And here it pops up, and because Melodyne is smart, it knows I'm in F minor. So let's just go phrase by phrase. So the first one, if I wanted to just quickly grid all of these, all I have to do is using this tool, the note tool, just select my notes and double click, and it's going to grid them. And let's see how it sounds. I'm testing Melodyne, which isn't bad. And before, it was this. I'm testing Melodyne, which not awful, to be honest, but I am not a perfect singer. The only thing I don't like in here is we've got that pitch drift. So right on this note. So that's gonna just even it out a little bit. I'm testing Melodyne. Maybe even here too. I'm testing Melodyne. And there's some warble on this last note. So the pitch drift tool will allow me to kind of smooth that out or go nuts. I'm testing Melodyne. Maybe a little. I'm testing Melodyne. Now let's go to the next one, this phrase right here, and gonna go back to my pitch modulation tool, or I'm sorry, the pitch tool. And should go up there. ARA. And there is the E at the very bottom, and I'm just gonna leave that as is. And maybe also just take out some of the modulation on this one. ARA. Fine tune it. And now let's go to the last one. Same thing, go to our pitch tool and grid it. Within Pro Tools. And that last note's wrong. Should have been there. Within Pro Tools. And once again, it's me, it's not Melodyne. I have that swoop right there on the onset of that C. So let's try that. Within Pro Tools. Much better. And let's just do the pitch drift on this. Within Pro Tools. That was really easy and really fast, which is awesome. So now I can just close out the Melodyne window just by dragging or clicking that little button. And you know what? Let's make a harmony real quick. So I'm just going to duplicate this channel. And I'll say active playlist. So here we are with my duped Melodyne channel. And once again, edit, Melodyne, right-click, Melodyne, edit. And here is what's going to be our harmony. So let's go over to the first phrase. And we'll just go down by thirds. And since I have Melodyne set to snap to the, where is it? I'm snapping to the key, not chromatically. So it's everywhere I drag it, it's just going to be in the key of F sharp or F minor, which is going to be easy for now. So let's take these and drop them all by a third. And you can see it did a whole step there as opposed to the half step it was before. I'm testing Melodyne. And I'm not a fan of the D flat. Let's try it there, but let's also solo the other. I'm testing Melodyne. And that doesn't work. I'm testing Melodyne. Maybe let's try the C. I'm testing Melodyne. I still don't like it. Let's do the B flat. I'm testing Melodyne. That'll work. Now let's go up to the next phrase. ARA. Nice. And let's go to the last one. And this is going to be a little bit trickier, I think. Within Pro Tools. Within Pro Tools. Within Pro Tools. Maybe go down there. Within Pro Tools. And I'm just getting creative here. I just want to hear what it sounds like. It's just like really, as far as like writing harmonies goes, that you could actually later re-sing. This is a great tool. Within Pro Tools. Cool. So now I just close it back out again, and let's hear it with the track. I mean, the track is not completely diatonic, so I may have failed, but hey, it's a try. I'm testing Melodyne. ARA within Pro Tools. It works. So yeah, having Melodyne built directly into Pro Tools now, just aside from the fact that it's really easy to do pitch correction, creatively it's opening up a lot of opportunities that I didn't have as easily. So this is a really exciting tool for me, and if you're a Pro Tools user, just go and download the new update. Most of the versions of Pro Tools, you can at least get Melodyne Essential, which will give you the basic tuning monophonically. You don't get the polyphonic, you get that with the upgraded version. But either way, go and get it, because this is a great tool, and I love that it's built in natively now. It's just, this is amazing. This is a really, really groundbreaking feature for Pro Tools users. So if you're in Pro Tools, gotta check it out.
I hope you enjoy that. A little bit of a different format, but I think we're going to have some fun with this and bring in other people. Well, we do occasionally bring in other people talking about guitars and stuff, but I think talking about gear and stuff is always fun. Please leave us any comments and questions below. We'd like to do some more Fact Friday, frequently asked questions Fridays. So we need some questions. Put them down below. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Matt Lang, for that demo. So long, farewell, la vida, and au revoir, adios, goodbye.